There we go.
It's coming. It's launching.
Meetings being live streamed. Got it.
And here we go. Welcome back,
everybody. I'm live.
Episode of the Book Asylum podcast. Over here is the one and only Kristen Vincent, my man, the bad wabbit himself, Anthony Castro, one wild-eyed Southern boy, Richard Ryan Rose, and our guest this week, believe it or not, we have Matt Damon on the show.
Just Matt Damon.
Matthew Holiday. Big time out there making moves. Man, welcome to the show. How are you doing today, brother?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing great. I was up really late and I got really drunk, and so here I am. That's how I prep. Yep, you too. All right. Solidarity.
Gotta stay together on all this, man.
Yeah, man.
That's the only way to prep, right?
Well, give us a little background on you, man. Like, the obvious is like, what got you to say, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and write a book? How did that happen?
I was in first grade, and my dad said if I got a novel published, I could quit school, and I hated school, so I took it very seriously. I'm a little spectrumy, so I really took it seriously, and I really tried, and eventually, at the age of, I don't know, 6 years ago, 44, I sold my first novel to Severed Press. That was Destiny Nowhere. It was a zombie apocalypse novel about a misanthrope who was really happy the apocalypse happened because he hates society, loosely based on somebody who might be in this room.
Know who out there.
What's that?
I said, wouldn't know what you were talking about there. No, not at all.
No. This society is freedom.
All about it. So what are you working on right now? Do you got anything fresh that you're in the middle of, or are you just kind of in between?
I'm working on, I always work on about 6 projects simultaneously. And I did just finish, it was supposed to be a short story for the House of Haunts anthology, which is coming out in October, with a foreword by Josh Malerman, the author of Bird Box. Yeah, that's pretty prestigious. So 4,000 to 6,000 words was the limit. Matt Damon comes in at 13,700 words with I guess it's a novelette. And thankfully, the publishers were gracious enough to allow me that leeway. But I said, if this is too long, or you know what I mean? I said, if you guys feel like it doesn't fit, then, kick me out. But the story was really dark, you guys. I was writing, it's a haunted house story. I've never written anything like that before. And I waited until a week before the deadline to start and didn't know where I was going. And that happens a lot where I don't know where I'm going and the story just takes me there. But this one, they gave me a week extension, and it was this dark, hellish, writing it, I felt possessed and sucked into this world. I was dreaming this story. I mean, it was dark stuff. And so yeah, it was really beautiful. And once I gave birth to that, I was like, oh my God, I'm done. And then it was like, nope, you still got to prove the edits. There's all this hoopla. So it dragged on, and I finally got it in yesterday, totally submitted, and I'm happy to let that go. So you can check that out in the House of Haunts. And I've got a book coming out soon called Normal, which is about a teenager on the spectrum in Southern Ohio, living in a small town. And I wouldn't say it's in the horror genre, but it's definitely capturing the horror of the way somebody might see this nonsensical reality if they were not a part of it, which is my take on being on the spectrum, because I'm there, but there was no spectrum when we were all growing up. You're just the weirdo.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and I meant to tell you, you can actually if you have the ability to do so, you can actually share this onto your personal Facebook page now.
I will do that if okay. Are you guys still there? Yeah, you're still there.
Oh yeah.
So how do I share that? What's the link?
You'll have to go on to Facebook to do it.
Okay, I go to the Book Asylum or
Book Asylum, Richard's page or my page, because
you're doing it on your phone. You're probably gonna have to do it after the thing.
Richard Ryan. I'm opening up Richard Ryan Rose.
That's me. Yep.
Okay, I just added as a friend. So here's the live. I can just share this, right? I'm doing it. Okay, here we go. Here's my live stream. Yes, thank you. This is interesting, being in real time now, talking and sticking my foot in my mouth every other sentence.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
right. I believe it, man.
We do it all the time.
You
Hey,
do?
Jack.
Okay.
Jack,
Yo.
we got two podcasts going on, the Asylum, Book Asylum, because you and I both shared on there. So
Oh well.
you want me to delete mine or maybe delete yours since I'm got the admin?
Is that on your page,
Yeah.
on Richard Rowe's page?
It's on my page and also shared it to Book Asylum, but we got
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, it's there. It's in Written Undead. It's in the Asylum of Fear.
Oh, all right. Written Undead. What's up? So
Yeah.
I was the editor of Written Undead's best standalone book. I was one of the editors on the Dead Unleashed. I do the Unleashed anthology series with Ramsey Scott and Marie Lanza, and we've put out five books in that series, all really talented writers. And you'll see a lot of Javin Bonds in there. I think you guys are friends and fans of that most amazing man.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, we were down there not too long ago. In fact, that's how I wound up with the scar over the eye.
Oh, geez. What were you doing? Jumping over bonfires while you're drunk?
Oh no, we better than that. Better than that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were. They let the two drunkest people at the party handle the fireworks.
Oh no.
I had a mortar round. It was about yay big, and I didn't uncoil the fuse from it like I should have before I dropped it into the tube. So when I lit it, the fuse just kind of went. I let go. It popped right back up, and a piece of shrapnel hit me right above the eye.
Well, at least it wasn't an inch lower, I guess,
Exactly. It was funny because Rich was standing behind me, and he kind of turned, and I'm just standing there, kind of stunned. And he's like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "I got hit." He said, "What do you mean you got hit?" And when I started feeling the blood running down my face,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and I'm bleeding. And Richard's like, "Oh crap!"
And it still didn't knock any sense into him.
Did anyone get a photo of that? That's a great
Oh, yeah.
photo.
Oh yeah, we got photos.
The
In
blood.
fact, I did one thing when I got back home. I had just gotten my copy of Pina Coladas and Rats from Angel Ramon.
Nice.
And so I took a picture holding the book with the stitches and everything still in my face.
Awesome. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's a great promo.
So,
Probably see a lot more.
but
He's
yeah, I pretty much decided fireworks are no longer part of my life.
Oh, they're not?
Not anymore. That was like too close.
Okay,
But
yeah.
thing, Javin's brother is a nurse practitioner, and he showed up at the party and just happened to have everything he needed to
Did all
stitch
the
me.
first aid. Oh, and then you were back at it. Just
Back at we were
slamming down, lighting wicks. Yeah, right on.
It
right
was on. Kicking it, man. We were kicking it. What's the new thing? What's one of the craziest things you've ever done that could have led to like permanent bodily harm?
Oh man, well, I run a contracting company and I work on roofs, and I've fallen off a couple roofs, so I got some metal bones in me, but I can still cartwheel on a roof, and that's not what dropped me off a roof. Just I'll take a video, everyone. I turned 50 this year, and I was like, I can still cartwheel on the roof. It's like probably a 8 or 9 pitch. It's not too steep, so that's some stupid shit I did. But I also I was in Holland. I was traveling around Europe like 25 years ago, and I in the middle of the night climbed up one of those giant L-shaped construction cranes. It was like 150 feet in the air, so I climbed straight up it, and then I climbed all the way out on it, and then I hooked my legs into the struts and hung upside down, watching the world upside down. I have no idea why. I just felt invincible, and that probably could have ended badly, but you're so conscious in that moment, you're like, there's no way I'm gonna make a false move, so
How far did you fall?
I think it was 150 feet. I would have fallen. It was gigantic. They building skyscraper cranes. That kind of thing. Those big yellow cranes they're like a 90 degree with a one of those. Yeah,
You did.
showing my stupid shit, man. I used to run a tree removal company, and when I was a kid, contractors would drink beer on the job, and I thought that was cool. So I would climb trees and just slamming beers, and that sobers you up too. I'm like, there's no chance of me falling, but this is before I had kids, and then I was like, all right, I have people that are counting on me. I can't do stupid shit.
I know exactly what that's like.
Right, it changes your life, right?
What
about you?
Yeah.
What stupid shit did you stop doing?
Oh man, I am lucky to be alive. Literally, I when I was younger, in my younger days, I was heavily into gangs. Unfortunately,
Are you serious?
I've seen a lot of people die. I've seen ODs in front of me. I've seen shootings, stabbings.
Mm.
I've been in multiple car wrecks. I've been beaten up by multiple people,
Yeah.
and so forth and so on. But yeah, we used to do some crazy shit. And after having kids, and like, it
Is
was
that
just
that's what changed it for you?
really, it was. I mean, as soon as my son came into the world, I was like, okay, now I have to care about living.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was part of your, rival gang.
Oh, were you?
I
Yeah,
was a
he was
cop.
a police officer.
Oh my God, really? Okay. Oh wow.
But that's just the way things change you, man. Like
Rival
things
gang.
change you. I don't associate with anybody from back then.
Okay.
So it's like my life is 180 degrees from what it used to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was a junkie. I was on heroin and crystal meth and all the shit. I was just wandering around the world being a vagabond and getting lost, and trying to sort through all the personal demons,
Yeah, I totally get it, man. I OD'd
Yeah.
coke and meth twice, both. So I understand what that's like, man.
You OD'd on meth?
Yes.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
So,
Eesh. Yeah,
Um,
it's an eclectic group that we have here on this show.
it is indeed. Yeah.
Got a little bit
Yeah.
of everything.
It is. I think
believe
horror
this,
writers are all pretty dark people, man. This is like, there's a lot of, we're mining from our own traumas, right? It's
Right.
like,
but it's therapy. It's therapeutic, man.
it is.
Mhm.
It is.
What
Yeah, it is.
For you, does your writing act as like a form of therapy?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. I don't even see how sometimes, but I'm always, you're putting yourself into it. Like everyone that you write is a fragment of yourself and your perception of people. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's all 100% ourselves. But it's weird, right? Like I study human interaction. I kind of like will just stay out of things and watch the way people interact because it's all a story and their characters. And I'm like mining because writing is, I want to go and write on my free time. That's what I want to be doing, and I feel like it's more powerful than any drug. It's more fun than any activity. I like creating rather than consuming stuff, and when I watch TV or read books, it's always with a critical eye, just because I don't know, it traps you in a way though. I sometimes feel like it's writing is like a ball and chain, and I'd be a lot happier if I walked away from it, because embracing, when you go into the darkness of creating these things, like it's stuff that everybody is relating to or experiencing on some level. I think, we're like, at least I'm, and I don't mean to project on you guys because I don't know why anyone else writes. It's totally masochism. It's like we're tormenting ourselves and trying to say something and hopefully affect the people who read it, because they'll relate or connect or think about something differently, or just get caught up in the tension of, it's also just an art form to create tension and frighten people, I guess.
A quick shout out. What up, Dungeon Dan? He would have been with us today. He's also part of the show, but he's on call today. So
okay. All right. Hey, Dungeon Dan.
he says morning. And then Tim Brooks, also known as the Comment Ninja. We'll see what he comes up with over here, but he just says hey to everybody. So what up, Tim? Feel free to try to derail the show. You're really good at that.
So there's comments streaming somewhere on the feed right now.
Yeah, we
on the actual Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
got
Jack, do you want me to delete your post or delete mine? Because we got like two podcasts going on the same page.
Delete mine.
Delete yours?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yours is
So
the main
Matt,
one.
I wanted
Yep.
to ask you, can you give us a little synopsis about a Monster's Moon? That I read a little bit about that, and it really caught my eye. And I just wanted to know, what's that about? Where did you get that idea from?
Oh man, I just wrote it this year, and I haven't even put out the print version of that because I'm revamping it. I had an author, you know how you go back and revisit your work and you're like, I should have done this. I'm having that. I should have done this. So I've been almost not publicizing it after I released it because I'm like, all right, I want to fix a little bit of something. I had two of my readers give me some really good critiques. And although I published the book without quite listening to them, in hindsight, I was like, okay, they were right. So Monsters Moon, it was about a traveling monster show coming to town, and these kids were getting excited. God, I don't even know where it came from. It pretty much wrote itself, and
Yeah.
these kids they saw the posters and they were like, oh, okay, there's a live werewolf. being brought to town, and it's a small town in northern Kentucky, and they were like, getting excited because there's not that much to do in the town. So they kept going by the farm where it was being held and waiting excitedly as, I think they're 12 or 13 years old. And there's a girl that's, sort of like they both like her. And there's a little, sort of a rivalry there, and she's making fun of them for this. So eventually the show gets to town, and then things go wrong.
Sounds
And,
interesting.
I'll leave it at that. It was a very fun story to write, but I'm like I said, one of my readers was like, the girl is like the most generic girl ever. She's like the pretty girl, and you didn't give her any personality. I did give her some personality, but I was like, you know what? You're right. She deserves like more than just this token role. And I think that's a struggle. That's kind of something that I'm trying to explore more. Writing women is complicated.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not a woman. It's kind of hard to put yourself in their position.
Right. And it's easy to project my own like male bullshit onto a character, and it's harder to see the three-dimensionality of them, but I'm getting better at it. But I would say yeah, I don't know. Well, you guys can be the judge.
I try to do that, and I end up with this really butch chick. So it's
Yeah, right. Project yourself.
like he's spitting and drinking beer and
Yeah,
farting.
yeah. Hey, man, a real person, in other words, not a caricature who's there to drive the story with, her prettiness and the way that it affects the boys, but that's as old as time, isn't it? That's never going to stop. The beauty of women is never going to stop affecting men the way that it does. So I guess, yeah, there's a lot of, there's a lot of truth to that element, but there's also, more.
Dungeon Dan got a little question for you. He
Who
says,
does?
Dungeon Dan.
Dungeon Dan.
Yeah, he said he hasn't read any of your books yet. He said, but can you tell me a little bit about Destiny Nowhere, and why is it described as an autobiography?
Oh, that was a joke. My autobiography of the zombie apocalypse. I put a lot of myself into that. It's the character. So I went to college for psychology because I was trying to figure myself out. And then in college, I did a lot of psychedelic drugs to try to figure myself out. And then I went traveling for 5 years as a voluntarily homeless seeker. And I went to, I took a guitar and a sleeping bag and backpack. I went to Europe. I decided I was going to play guitar in the streets, and I didn't know any songs. I just knew open chords. And I was so confident in my artistic ability that I was like, I will just stand there and sing out of my head and smite the world with the beauty of all of the wisdom that I have accumulated. And I fucking choked, you guys. I just like was choked. It was humiliating. I couldn't, my squawking. I'm also tone deaf and I didn't know it, but I then my oldest son's mom is an opera singer, and we argued. I'm like, you just sing by the rules, and I'm like doing it my own way. And she's like, record yourself and listen. I was like, I cannot believe I was walking around squawking at the whole world with my sound. But like I said, this is all pain unearthing, and I'm glad I did it. It was like balls to the wall, the craziest thing. And I kept trying to like, feeling like I need to come back and function in society. And I could do it for like a month, and then I'm like, fuck this. I want freedom. I want to wander. I want to wake up not having anything to do, not knowing where I'm going to go. And just like the world was my adventure. And so, yeah, I loved that. And the only reason that I'm living in the slave grind now is because I'm got to raise my kids. And I got to provide a life for them. I would be gypsies in a heartbeat with them, but their moms are here and there's no way to do that. But I would take them. I have an RV that I bought over here. I'll show it to you guys.
Hey, look here.
Big old traveling house. And I would take them and just travel everywhere and make art, sell books, make music. So that would be the dream.
I got a question for you, Matt. Yeah, my wife and I plan on doing a European vacation in the near future. Now that I just retired, but we are we don't want to go until we have like a massive vacation budget. I don't want to get stuck over there in Europe and end up going broke. Or I just want to make sure there's plenty of money in the bank. So how did you get by being homeless and touring Europe?
I bought a plane ticket, quit my job, and I flew over there, and I had $35 in my pocket, which is in the year 2000. So it's like $100 now. and I had my guitar. And so once I choked and I couldn't play music, I'm sorry, I got distracted from Destiny Nowhere. And I will answer that question in a minute that the
I'm sorry.
Dungeon Dan said. No. But so I immediately made friends with street guitarists, and they started teaching me really easy, like 3-chord Bob Dylan songs, because I could play. I just didn't know any songs. That I knew one song that I couldn't play. It had bar chords. That was too beyond my skill level at the time. And so I'm like, I live in my head, it's like my delusions become reality, and so I started learning that, and then playing songs, and people would throw me change, and I didn't have rent, and all I had to buy was food, until I got into drugs, and then I had to buy drugs too. But it's really easy to make enough to get through one day, because what do I need, $40 a day, to eat and be drunk or whatever. So it was really easy to survive that way. And going back to Destiny Nowhere, I'm giving a picture of my fucking mind, because it's a mire in here of trying to untwist itself always, and Destiny Nowhere was a character who was a psychology professor, so I was drawing on that stuff, and he kind of self-diagnoses himself with all of these different things. Everyone's got a fucking condition now. The shrinks are going to give you a label because you don't fit into the box, and it's all actually bullshit. They're all like trying to pigeonhole everybody that isn't the status quo cookie cutter human being. So this guy is neurotically labeling himself because he sees all of these qualities in the different diagnosis in himself, which is exactly what happened to me while I was studying psychology. And then he's also an introverted recluse. So when the zombie apocalypse happens, he doesn't really notice it. He sees it on Facebook, and everyone's like doing the zombie app where they turn themselves into a zombie. And it's like a joke at first, and he just thinks it's some new Walking Dead season, and everyone's just, playing around. He doesn't really take anything seriously. And so everyone gets killed. The shit hits the fan. Everybody in his town, almost everybody is succumbs to it. And then he hears an explosion, goes outside, realizes, oh shit, it takes him a minute, but he figures out that these are, a whole bunch of zombies standing around. And then he's got to, figure out how to survive, and he has no useful skills at all. So, yeah. So that's Destiny Nowhere. And I think it's a really fun book. He's kind of a whiny, self-loathing character, and his character arc is to learn how to become a man who can survive in this thing. And but that's not based on me at all, of course.
Well, now Dan's wanting to know which book would you recommend to start with? If they've never read any of your work before, where would you say go here first?
I think that depends on personal taste, because I'm writing all across the board. I think Destiny Nowhere, you'll either love it or you'll hate it. There's no one in between with Destiny Nowhere. He's got it's written in first person. He's got a very funny character voice, and it's a clever story, and it's a pretty unique take on the zombie apocalypse, I think. So I always recommend that. And I'm working on a series now called The Freedom Files, which is about the United States collapsing from all of the the infighting going on, and it's basically like there's some forces trying to divide and conquer, and then everybody is taking sides and trying to figure out, they're trying to survive. The military's trying to put people in, a quarantine zone to protect, for their own protection. And lots of people are like, stay the fuck away from the military and whatever they have going on. So that story is unfolding, and it follows, it's a series of novellas. I got 2 out so far. I'm working on the 3rd. And the first is called Liberty and Justice for None. And the second one is called A Preamble to Treason. And those those are pretty interesting. I really like writing them. I put no pressure on myself at all. I'm just like flying and following the characters where they take me, and they're on both sides of the divide and all over, and they're I like that story a lot. It's I'm writing in third person and interweaving a lot of different points of view, and it's dark. Everything I write is really pretty fucked up. I don't think I'm a splatterpunk author, but I'm like walking the line where people are like, "Ooh, that doesn't, that's cringy. That's too fucked up to be in a normal book. It makes people uncomfortable." Good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to make people uncomfortable, and then they got to think about why they're uncomfortable.
Exactly. Well, Tim Brooks popped in, going back to the Europe thing, said, always heard Europe would be a nice place if it wasn't for all the Europeans.
Oh man, I love the Europeans, man. I love the Europeans. I felt like, listen, okay, they don't have all the stress that we have over there. And now keep in mind that the last time I was there was like 2004 probably. So things have changed a lot in Europe since then, but it was a really communal place, and it didn't even look like there was racism there at all. Like black white racism didn't seem to exist. There was a lot of racism against the Muslims because tons of immigrants were flooding in then and causing a lot of problems, so there was racism like that going on, and coming up from Africa, and it was generally poor thuggish types, and but I found it to be a very harmonious place. Their healthcare is taken care of. They get as much, college education for free as they want. So the population there is not in debt forever to to university tuitions and medical debt. They don't have to worry about it. And they're kind of horrified that we have to be afraid of getting sick over here because it might fuck our lives and drive us into debt. So I found a lot of sanity there. I really liked it. It was much more free. I felt like there's no like lifeguard. You know how here you can't swim unless there's lifeguards and buoys. People just fucking swim wherever they want there. It's a lake, they go swimming. Half the time they're fucking naked. Like they're just like, I'm serious. It's like there was a lack of shame going on too. So I loved it. And I look forward to getting back there sometime.
Yeah.
Cool.
I need to go to Europe. My healthcare here sucks, man. And suffering from degenerative heart failure, man, it's really hard to get my meds. I've got one medication. It's $1,900 per refill. It's ridiculous. So
holy shit. Are you out of pocket?
Yeah, I have to pay out of pocket. I don't have any insurance because when I got diagnosed, I had no job that had insurance.
Right.
So I lost my job because of my heart failure. I couldn't work anymore. So it was like I couldn't do anything about it. So it's been this out of pocket bullshit that I've been having to deal with ever since. But that's why I did the comic books. That's why we're coming up. That's why we're gonna do this thing, and we're gonna kick its ass.
Do you get Medicaid, or can you get Medicaid?
No, they won't give me Medicaid. I've applied for it at least 3 or 4 times, and every single time they tell me for some reason, some BS reason, oh, you can make $75 too much.
Oh my God.
The last time it was because I made $75 too much because I was on disability.
Oh, disability is paying you too much to have insurance.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, now, can you not get Medicare through disability?
No.
You can't?
They won't let me. I've already applied for Medicare, all that stuff multiple times.
I thought that was implied if you got
that's what they told me. They said if you're on disability for 2 years, you automatically get Medicaid. And I've been on it for 2 years. I applied for it again, and now they're telling me it's because I'm on disability that I can't get it.
What? That's crazy.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't at all. And I'm actually trying to lawyer up over it. So.
Oh yeah, okay, but it's like that costs money, and it's like, how do you, dude? When you're poor, they just fuck you, man, every which way. Medicaid. I had Medicaid. When I fell off roofs, it paid for everything. I had cancer in 2018. This big ass gnarly scar. It paid for all that, So I didn't get into any debt. I'm like, Medicaid was great insurance, and yeah. So if you can get it, I mean, they will take care of anything. But like, why are they blocking you? I don't understand.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I'm not handsome enough.
I'm about to lose my Medicaid because I just got my CDLA license, so I'm going to drive tractor trailer, and now I'll be above the Medicaid bracket. But having kids and being in that situation, I was able to get Medicaid, and I'm very grateful for that. It was actually excellent.
Yeah.
I hope you can get it, because this is a terrible situation.
It would be great. Like, this is my life.
Where do they get off charging $1,900 for a prescription and making you pay for it yourself? Like, how much does it cost to make? It's probably like $5, and they make it in China,
Yeah, you should be able to get Medicare Part D also. I mean, they'll take it out of your check. It's not free, but yeah.
I barely get a check,
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna get
like,
the comments here quick.
I get it.
All right, so Dungeon Dan says, Matt, so you're pro novella then. Do you ever have people that pass up a story because it's not novel size?
I wouldn't know, because they didn't look at it, I guess. I think people avoid novellas, but I noticed that, Monsters Moon is a novella. Normal it might be a novel now, I'm not sure. The book about the Spectrum-y kid. Both the Freedom Files books, they're like 100 pages each, and I don't know if people pass it up, but I think if people literally read the first chapter, they get sucked in, and it's that good.
All right, well, Brooks
Pat
came
myself on the back.
My wife did lose her cell phone at a concert in Scotland, and when I called it, a very cute Scottish lass answered, and we had a nice chat. Wife says I'm not allowed to go to Scotland.
Yeah.
And then Dan says Castro would love to be somewhere he could just roam around naked. Texas keeps locking him up.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Now everyone wants to go to Europe. See? Yeah.
I'd become a jungle man, walk around in a loincloth all the time, just, let it hang out.
Yep. I used to joke that I had warrants out in 5 countries because I kept getting tickets for jumping on the trains there, and then I'd get ticketed occasionally. And so then I wouldn't pay them because I'm homeless. I'm like, what are they gonna do? But yeah, it sounds like I'm a hardened criminal, but yeah. All
right, now Chessman says Ryan Cahill is capitalizing on novellas to further his The Bound and the Broken plot. So I mean, like I said, I like a good novella. I've got a 3-part one that Nick Rhodes had written that's set to like lead you into his full-length zombie series.
Okay.
And they're nice light reads. You're not getting into some gigantic tome over here. It's just
he's the trucker, right? Nick Rhodes, is that the trucker guy?
No, he's the truck driver. In fact, Nick right now is in Europe, I do believe. Out there.
Okay.
He does something with the airlines. I think he trains flight attendants or something.
Okay.
That's it.
I bet he does. I wish I could write a novel, man. I wish I could sit down and write like 40,000, 50,000 words.
You're a comic book.
I do comic books. Yes.
Author. Okay.
Yeah.
Illustrator and author, or
I draw good enough to come up with the concepts, but I have an artist, Tommy Guns, who actually does the comic book, and he's amazing. Like, he takes whatever I draw and makes it 1,000 times better.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
So,
you storyboard it for him, right?
Yeah. I give him the concept, tell him, hey, this is how I want it to look. Put your own spin on it. And then I write the comic book, and then lately I've had Chris Philbrook. He's been my editor.
Okay.
So that's been really, really awesome. I mean, I was a big fan of his before I ever really talked to him. So to have him on the job, on this with me is just like a dream come true. That's really awesome.
Yeah, you got a power team there. That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. And it's a good comic book. I mean, it's really fun world, and I've been trying.
What is it about?
Well, Bad Rabbit is about a down and out alcoholic rabbit in a dystopian world.
Cool.
Ruled by the Pangolin Empire. They are basically like the Empire in Star Wars.
Yeah. Penguins. Cool.
Pangolins.
Okay.
Armored anteaters.
They're
okay.
They're on 4 legs like a shell. Okay, yeah, armadillo. Yeah.
So I mean, he basically gets shanghaied after whooping the shit out of a pirate crew. The captain's like, dude, this guy's badass. I want him on my crew. And he gets shanghaied. And it kind of starts off this crazy adventure. And it's an adventure of self-discovery and redemption. because he has a traumatic past. And I want to show people that no matter how far you fall, whether it be alcoholism, addiction, just trauma in general, that you can come back, with the help of a few good friends and some determination.
Nice.
That's what happened to me. I was
an
alcoholic. I was into drugs. I was in gangs. And then, after they told me that my heart was failing, I kind of changed my whole life. I quit cigarettes cold turkey.
Nice.
I quit drinking, and I just kind of
cigarettes are the hardest, aren't they? Harder than heroin, harder than crystal. Dude, they're hard.
But I just want to really just show people that it's not impossible to become a better person, and the better
awesome.
of yourself. So that's his story. That's going to be his story arc. But when we first meet him, he's like totally just burnt out, alcoholic, and everything. And by the end, I want to show like a totally different version of him. It's really cool.
Let's see. Oh man, that's fantastic art. Look at that. Excellent. So cool. This is the same Tommy Gunn doing the art on the cover too?
No, that was actually done by Jacob Carson. I have multiple covers.
Yeah, okay.
So like I have different covers for that. But book 2 has already been written. It's waiting to be edited by Chris Philbrook, and I'm working on book 3 right now.
Oh, so that just came out. That's pretty fairly new. Okay.
Yeah, actually it's not even on the shelf yet.
So you can get you can get the digital copy for $5 on his
DMW Comics. DMWcomics.com. You can go there and get a $5 digital copy right now.
Is the print copy available on Amazon or?
Not yet. That's going to be released until October, maybe November. Me and Chris Philbrook are going to have a meet and greet down here in Texas on the 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're going to be putting it on shelves and all that stuff. So it's going to be awesome.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic. That looks great. Hey, have you ever tried writing your memoirs about all the shit you went through in the gangs and stuff?
I started to, and then I kind of gave up on it. Kind of fell back into all that stuff. This was before I quit,
Kids.
Before I quit and everything, I tried to do kind of like a retrospective, I guess, kind of thing. And I lost that book somewhere in the
yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna start over. I wrote too much and I don't feel
right. Was it on a computer or
no, it was handwritten.
Oh shit. Okay, there's no getting it back. Okay. Yeah.
Such is life.
Oh yeah, no, I know how that goes when you write something.
Before I go off this planet, I'll sit down with somebody and I'll let them write it all out. They can ask me all the questions.
Yeah, nice. No, it's awesome though. You're actually putting yourself and your story into this comic, so it's very personal. I like it. It sounds awesome. I'm gonna check it out.
Now, have you ever thought about trying to maybe turn one of your books into like a graphic novel?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Pretty straightforward on that one.
I don't know how I wouldn't even know how. I couldn't even visualize how that would go. If an artist ever did it, it would be cool. I used to like to draw, and I used to draw comics, and I wrote a couple game books too. Do you guys get into game books at all? I wrote a zombie apocalypse game book called Dead High, where it's a bunch of people. Game book is like choose your own adventure, right? Only in this you have a character sheet, so you have to keep track of your bullets and the things you find you can use in the story. It was very complicated. It's almost impossible to beat, and it's also out of print. And just like your file, it's on an old computer. I don't even know where the original file is, so I can't bring it back into print. But
so it's kind of like a lit RPG almost.
I don't know. I actually don't know that genre. I've looked into it, but I don't think so. You don't make choices in those, do you? The RPG?
One I had only the audiobook of one.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like you could really just choose your own path.
Right.
That's something that is available in the paper.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't think so. I think I looked into lit RPG, and it was
Angel Ramon would be the person to ask about that.
Angel, yeah, okay.
He's a big lit RPG writer.
Cool. So shout out to Angel if he's watching.
Yeah.
In fact, he's actually live on his stream right now as we speak.
Who is Angel? Is
Yeah, he's got the Legionnaires Evangelus Maximus podcast, and so him and
Okay.
Aiden talk together, and they talk ancient history in Rome. And
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know he's really into history, and he's writing some historical stuff. Awesome.
Big time. Let's see. Dungeon Dan said, when I finally sobered up, I found myself on the padded room and the book Asylum with that weirdo Jack Childress and Jeff Thompson. So that's what happened.
So you're Jack, right? With the bandana and the glass. Hey, yeah. You look like a rock star.
He is a rock star. What are you talking about?
It's crazy too, because like I'm sitting here and Kristen is right over there. You know,
okay.
so,
She is?
Yep.
She's in the same space as you right now? Okay.
Yep.
Is that
I'm
your
right.
wife?
Right, watch this. No. Watch this.
Okay. Let's see. Kristen hasn't said a peep on here. I mean, she said hello.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stop talking.
My daughter's been like, you know.
Oh, you got your kid running around? Okay, distracted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My
okay.
son's upstairs playing Call of Duty and she's running around with ferrets. So
How old are your kids?
so my daughter will be 9 in October and my son
Nice.
will be 14 also in October.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, my 8-year-old is on Discord, Roblox, whatever. He's in the house right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's keeping himself busy. I told him I had a very important live podcast. I thought he would definitely come out because he can't keep himself away, but he's lost in his own world.
That's what it is with her. She likes to get on to the feeds.
Oh yeah, totally. I was gonna put him on.
Like go play.
Yeah.
And
That's
like
cute.
right now she's grounded from phone and from TV and
What'd she do?
oh my god, threw a freaking tantrum the other night because of homework. Like you
Okay.
have to do this.
Yeah,
Right.
You know, and it's like me and her, we butt heads when she's trying to do homework, and it's like all I'm trying to do is help you,
Yep.
and she doesn't want to do it. She wants to talk to her friends. It's like
Right. I get that. My kid is very stubborn like that. He does not want to learn when he doesn't know something. He does not want to learn it and gets just starts raging, throwing his temper. Yeah, it's very frustrating for him. So back to the topic of writing the opposite sex. How do you like writing about men?
I mean, well, I am working on a novel with a good friend of mine, and I've been writing from the guy's perspective of sexy scenes.
Nice.
And I'm really enjoying it.
Awesome.
Like, I love it. And apparently I'm really good at it. Had no idea, but
awesome. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, well done. So
yeah.
I have a confession. I've been writing erotica for like 10 years from a female pseudonym, only on Literotica. I never published any of it, but I read like the beginning of 50 Shades of Grey when it was like making millions of dollars. And I was like, fuck this. I'm going to write this. This is trash. This is garbage writing. I'm going to start doing this and I'm going to sell, and I'm going to make millions of dollars because I can write better than this. So I started that. And that was also a vast challenge to myself to try to pretend to be a woman and write from a woman. So I've got like all my stories on there have about 50,000 reads and 4.5 stars. And I get these letters in her inbox that are like, thanks for showing us how a woman feels and thinks about things. And I'm like, it's so satisfying and hilarious,
That's
and
awesome. Yeah. So I actually have all 6 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh God, you like it?
There's 3 of them from Anastasia's perspective, but then there's 3 from his perspective.
Oh, Christian Grey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got all 6, and
it's porn for women. Okay, it is. It is.
I've seen the movies. I couldn't tell you what the plot is about at all.
Right.
I just pay attention to certain scenes.
Yes, of course. Yeah, you're fast forwarding. I haven't seen any of the films. I think I read about 50 pages of Grey, and then I was like, immediately, like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna, this is my magical thinking problem. I'm like, I'm gonna make millions. I can do this.
So Jack's been reading what me and my friend Bobby's writing, and he's very pleased with it.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he was really shocked with how well it was flowing, because you have 2 different people writing one book together, but it's flowing really well, and you can't figure out who is writing what or where the other
excellent. You guys have
or the
synergy.
other person picks up. So
This is you and him writing this together?
no, this is me and Bobby Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is reading it as an editor.
I ain't gonna lie, some of that stuff in there, I get a little sweat right across here.
Yeah.
Boy.
What is this that you're writing, an erotica series or something? Is that what it is?
So it's a psychological thriller.
Okay, it's just got a lot of
but
sexy
it's
scenes.
more of a psychological erotic thriller book.
Oh,
so-
nice. Okay, and this is a standalone novel?
Yes,
Okay, all right. And how far are you into it?
we're pretty far. I think we should be finished in the next couple months.
Excellent, cool. Okay.
And then we're gonna send the whole thing, let Jack and a few other people read it to do the editing and everything. And hopefully publish it the beginning of next year. So
Okay, that's excellent. Do you have a title yet?
we do. So it's called Secrets Untold.
Nice. That sounds good. Good. I like it.
Pooch
Yeah.
appearance. Comments here. Tim Brooks says, "Men are pigs. Too bad we own everything." Ha 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 ha. It's still relating to what we're discussing at the moment. Alan Chess said, "I feel like I need an adult," and then he's got the little barf emojis.
So I'm writing a book. It's a shark book with Marie Lanza. We're doing the collaboration. We're very early in the stages. It was going to be a story for the Depths Unleashed 2, the second Depths Unleashed, because we put out 2 volumes because there were so many incredible stories. We were like, we can't make a 1,500 page book. We wanted to publish all these authors. So they're all so good. We had like 150 submissions, and so we were trying to get a story done together, a collaborative story for that. We didn't make the deadline, and we are just turning it into a novel now. And it is very seamless, our writing, and the way that these, like, you can't tell who wrote what. I mean, if you really mine it, you can, but we're also going back through and making sure that it flows. And we've probably got, I don't know, 20 pages of that done. So it's not like it's taken off yet because we're busy with all of the projects, but it's really fun to collaborate and write with somebody. It takes some of the pressure off in a way, right? It's like,
yeah, I guess it works as, motivation, because it's like, you can't just lay off and then all of a sudden they're like, dude, I just wrote, 2,000 words. What are you doing?
oh yeah, right. Yeah, no, you gotta light the fire under your ass. You gotta keep up.
I like
The
to
pride.
to ask writers who have kids, how do you find the time to sit and actually write 1,000, 2,000 words, however many you write? Because with my kids, it's like I get 10 words in and it's like, okay, I gotta cook dinner and pick up stuff and do this and that.
I built a special soundproof dungeon in my basement that I lock them in when it's writing time, which is I only do that for 5 hours a day. So, ideally
Slide the food or like, here,
kids, stay off my equipment down there. No, they're both really independent, and so I have my oldest son, he's 17, and I have him, he's here pretty much all the time. He gets to choose whose house he wants to be at. We never went for custody court or any of that, and so he's here. He's very self-contained, and my youngest I have 50% of the time, so I don't get a lot of writing done when he's here, but he's actually writing a zombie story now, and he just got into it. He's little mini me in that way, and it's very funny and cute in the way that his brain processes everything. I find it hilarious to read, so I'm like, all right, let's do this, and I'll illustrate it, and we'll publish your zombie story, and so that's an ongoing project with him. So I get a little bit of writing done there, and him and I are also writing a choose your own adventure book together, which is, oh, sorry, you're not allowed to say choose your own adventure because they're really litigious, those pricks at ChooseCo that own that company. If you even, say, I wrote a choose your own adventure style book, they will get a hold of you and say, you can't call, they don't want you to use their logo, but that's what everyone knows it as. So
They call it a
if anyone
maker
from
of
Chooseco
adventure.
is watching, they're an embarrassment to the game book industry. But yeah, we're writing a really silly surrealistic book about being a first grader, because we started it when he was in first. He's going into third now, and we haven't finished it, but it's funny. Like, there's a conspiracy. The teachers are actually androids. You come to find out as the story unfolds. Yeah. Yeah, it's taken a lot of jabs. It's all the stress he gets at school, and we're kind of channeling it into art. And I guess art is a weapon to strike back too, you know? So, and yep.
Okay, now Tim said, then Jack's going to do 50 Shades of Bigfoot.
Oh, nice. Oh, yes. That's excellent. I'm serious. Do that. My friend wrote a Bigfoot novel that I love. I don't know. It's called North American Primates. If you're a Bigfoot fan, read it. That whoever just sent that comment, North American Primates by Shane Durkee. What a great book that is.
I'll make note of that. I have a little bit of a thing for cryptids.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Nice.
So Wild Eyed Southern Boys, man, you've got to check those out.
Yeah, Wild Eyed Southern Boys is an amazing series. That's oh my gosh.
What's it called?
Wild Eyed Southern Boys. You like cryptids, Bigfoots, werewolves, all that stuff?
Hell yeah.
Check
Awesome.
it out, man. It is amazing. I'm on book 3 right now, and
awesome.
I love it.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. I mean, you're a great writer, dude.
And
appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, that's his series. Okay.
That's my series, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm making note of that North American Primates, so
enjoy.
Third book, the cover of it is made sexy by a certain podcast host being on that cover.
Oh yes! Wow! You made it onto the. Wait, is that the image that flashed on the screen? There was like
that was actually a friend of mine did that. She was bored at work one day, and she asked several of us that were in this group chat together just to take a selfie. And she was going to play with it, and that's what she came up with for mine.
Okay, it was awesome. The blood splatter and the yeah, that was great.
Jack,
and look at it, you can see the zombies like in the distance.
Oh, and the glasses reflecting. Cool. So, I didn't see that because it just
Jack
flashed
is in more books
is he?
Anybody I have ever met in my life. He is in every book I've ever heard of.
Okay.
He's going to be one of history's greatest mysteries about 200 years
right,
or so from now.
Right. They're going to be studying
who is Jack Childress? He's in all these novels.
I'm a good guy in some. I'm a bad guy in
you
some.
appear as a character. Did Javin put you in his? Are you in Javin's?
He's actually going to. We've been talking about okay, you know his tech character, right? Now his name's going to elude me all of a sudden for no apparent reason, but you know he's got all like cosplay gear, but it's like real gear that you can wear. Well, I'm gonna be wearing like some kind of like a Warhammer outfit, but I got the Deadpool on.
Warhammer, cool, man. My protagonist in Destiny Nowhere he's a Warhammer player. That's what he is. He likes Warhammer 40K, and he's used to play it in the mall, and he's watching people walk by and laugh at them as they're playing this miniatures game, but it's a dope game, and people that laugh at it are stupid.
Speaking of games, so my son plays a lot of Call of Duty. Like, he's real serious about it. He even like he'll record his playing and stuff and post it on YouTube. And we will play Resident Evil.
Yeah, nice.
Play other games and stuff together too, because I like the co-op shooting games.
Yeah, they're fun.
And we went to GameStop one day, and I was gonna get him. Oh my God, what was it? It was Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah.
And the guy was like, "Is this for you or for him?" And I think at the time he was about 10.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, it would be for him, and he's like, I would not recommend. And I really didn't think anything of it. I thought honestly it was just more about you as the main character stealing cars and stealing money. It's like,
oh yeah,
cool, a whole lot more than that.
He informed me of the game. I'm like, Hunter, go pick another game.
I gotta tell you, my youngest has been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 since he was 4, and I started him on it. And I said, this is a driving game. You have to follow the rules, stop at the traffic lights, drive the car. And he was having fun because his brother was playing it. So he wanted to play it. So I made up a backstory. And then he found out you can run people over and find guns and shoot. And so then it was off like a shot. But he does know the difference between fantasy and reality. I don't think it's adversely affecting him. I did, however, tell him the name of the game was Happy Driver, so it wouldn't get back to his mom that he was playing Grand Theft Auto. And he kept talking about Happy Driver. And eventually his brother on her family was like, that sounds like GTA. He was mentioning the characters by name, but it took them like 3 years to wise up and figure out that Happy Driver was indeed Grand Theft Auto. So I was like, all right, healthy, functional kid, other than those anger issues, you know, when he needs to do his homework and he doesn't know how to do it and he doesn't want help. Yeah, I wouldn't trace that back to video games, though. I was raised on horror movies and video games in the 80s, and look at me. Oh, wait.
That's why, I let my son play Grand Theft Auto back, around the same age, but he turned out just fine. I mean, his parole board is next week, and he might make it this time. So
I grew up on Manhunt. Do y'all remember that game?
I'm kidding, but
Manhunt. I don't know that.
Oh man, that is a brutal game. You think Grand Theft Auto is bad?
What is it? I feel like I've seen it. Is it the same style?
No, it's a stealth game. Basically, you are a killer, you're a convict who is released into a city full of other gangs, and the point is to get through all these areas and escape the city, and you get released if you do. But you have to sneak around and you have to kill people, stab them in the neck with beer bottles, and suffocate them with plastic bags. And I mean, it's just like you're in a city and you have to use the stuff around you to basically just kill everybody you come across. And it's like
awesome.
In the most brutal ways.
That sounds great. What platform was that on?
It was like PlayStation 2.
Okay, I actually have my PS2 still, but I remember the name from a long time ago. It's like Escape from New York meets The Running Man, right?
Yeah, it's basically exactly what it is.
Cool.
And they got 1 and 2. So,
did you guys play Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It just came out. It's phenomenal.
I need it.
It's the greatest horror game. Okay, did you play Friday the 13th? Because they did a good job with that. It's a multiplayer. One person is Jason and everyone else is a camp counselor. There's different abilities. He's trying to hunt you down and kill you on different camps, but Texas Chainsaw is kind of the same, but it's better. It's just the technology has evolved since that one came out, and they did some just really phenomenal stuff. So the victims all start in the basement, those labyrinth of tunnels. Leatherface starts in the basement and he's down there hunting you. You got to unlock to get upstairs, and there's a trick to doing that. And then you got to get out of the house, the grounds, and there's 3 different boards. There's the house board, the factory, the slaughterhouse, and then one other one. And they're all labyrinthian boards, and the players have to kind of stealth through everything, and the killers are just running amok. The killers by far have the advantage. I almost never survive. Almost never. It just came out a week ago, you guys. It's phenomenal.
Is there a single player?
I just looked it up.
No, it's multiplayer.
Yeah, it's multiplayer. I'm gonna have to get this.
Yeah, it's all real players playing. So you and 3 other players are the victims, or there's 3 killers, 4 players in every round. So, and you get to play as different family members. Leatherface has to be in it, but then the family members are all the different ones. It's awesome. Like when you're the victim, you will actually freak out. It's so tense, because you're like really trying to get away. And then even if you get killed, you can spectate the people that survived, and you're like rooting for them and feeling the tension, watching them as they're trying to stealth away and, get the hell off the property. It's so, so good. It seems like endless replayability. It's super fun. And, but man, the killers, I swear, I don't know if any of you played Friday the 13th, but there were like these sadists that were just like super powered. All they do is play that game. I think they just play as Jason and they go crazy. Like literally I don't know how you can be that good at a video game and kill all 10 players really fast, but they just became legendary like that. And I feel like those guys are now taking on the killer roles and working together on headsets. And like, it's sometimes you're just like, there's no way to survive this, but the challenge is so fun that like, I just relentlessly keep trying, you know. And I suck as a killer. I'm really bad at being the killer. So I'm not good at this game at all. My son is good at it, but even he, as the victims, gets, you know, killed most of the time. So maybe it's a little imbalanced there. You can level up your characters too, so they get more, you know, better hearing or abilities. You know, it's great. It's such a well balanced, like just a really, really solid game with tons of replayability. I sound like I'm doing an ad for it, but I just know you guys are horror junkies. I'm telling you, it's like as awesome as horror gets, you know, in a game.
So I found it on PS4, but I don't have a PS4. Would it?
It's on every platform, I think. It's on PC, and it's got to be on Xbox. What do you have?
I have a PS5.
Oh, you have PS5? Oh, good for you. That should be on there. How could it? It is there. It is on there. I just heard I don't know. I heard one of the commenters talking about it the other day. He wanted to be able to link up with his friend on PS4, and he's like, "But I have a PS5, and you can't," or something. Oh, I don't know.
Y'all ain't believe this, but we've reached the end of the show.
All right. Okay. All right. We made it. This was fun, guys. This was really fun. It was great talking with you guys.
That was great.
All right. Well, guys, this is how I show every single episode. So this week we're going to start off with Kristen. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Amazon. I write under K Vincent. I have 2 books that are called Within Her Thoughts, and they're just dark poetry. You can also find me on Instagram under author K Vincent, Facebook under Kristen Vincent author. You can find me in Boozy Kristen Vincent with Jack Childress and friends.
Debuts tonight.
Country Girls Creations, and you can also find me on TikTok and Twitter as well.
Hey, all right.
Everywhere. All right, Bad Wabbit. Where can everybody find you, brother?
Well, you can find me at dmwcomics.com, where right now you can get a digital copy of my very first comic book for $5. And you can find me under the same thing, DMW Comics, on Facebook, where I update everybody on what's going on with the DMW community and show cool behind the scenes art and concepts and all that stuff for the comic book. And every Saturday, you can find me here with this crazy crew on Asylum. And that's it, man. You guys definitely check it out. If you guys are looking to have a vacation in October on the 7th and 8th, I will be doing a meet and greet with the one and only Chris Philbrook here in my hometown. And we will be signing comic books and shaking hands, shaking babies, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. All right, Mr. Richard Ryan Rose, tell them about that Wild-Eyed Southern Boys action.
All right. Well, you can find me my book series, Wild-Eyed Southern Boys. I got 3 books in the series now. You can find it on Amazon, Goodreads, iTunes, Audible, in all formats. And you can find me on richardrrose.com on my website. And you can also find me at Richard R. Rose Author on my Facebook page.
Sweet. Well, just real quick, I can get mine out of the way fast because I've got one short story published in Word Peddler magazine, which can be found on Amazon. The name of the story is Domino, and pretty happy with it. I think everybody that's read it so far has kind of dug it.
Awesome story.
Another little thing we're going to start working on, me and Miss Kristen right here, is creating cool things.
Yes, there they are. Cool, man.
You know, this was from last night. We made this little guy, and we have got so many other amazing things that we're going to make that's just going to blow the internet apart once we get this stuff really churning out. So basically, free time earlier, I'm not sure what that means exactly because I don't seem to have it anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And of course, here on the Book Asylum every week. Matt, man, thank you for coming on today, and let everybody know where they can find you.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks. I guess just Google Matt Damon and I'll come up. No, I'm on. You can find me on Amazon. Search Matthew Hollis Damon, and you'll find all my books on there that are still in print. And that's my name on Facebook as well, so you can find me on Facebook. And I'm gonna tell you that's also my YouTube name, Matthew Hollis Damon. And if you
Ooh.
go on YouTube, guys, I'm also an amateur filmmaker, and there's a lot of wacky shit on my page. But my crown jewel is called Once Upon a Time in Karate. It is a nod to Karate Kid, and I play Mr. Matt Yagi, and it's really well done. So it took 2 years to make, and I put my kids in this film, and by the end, like the second half, it looks like Hong Kong action sequences. That's how good I got at choreography and getting a great performance out of these guys. So if you like, martial arts films, there's that. There's what's that?
I can't wait to see it. I love
Get
this.
on it. Once Upon a Time in Karate. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you guys. This has been so much fun.
Awesome, man. Well, guys, just so y'all know, because obviously we started a little earlier than y'all are used to us starting today. Here in less than an hour, we're going to be right back on these airwaves again, this time with the one and only Chris Philbrook. So tune in then. Again, all you guys out there, thanks for tuning in and watching us this week. Go consume all this that we put out there for you today. Go get it. Don't just get it. You'll be happy. You'll thank me later.
Yep.
Ryan Rose, Kristen Vincent, Anthony the Bad Wabbit Castro, Matt Hollis Damon, Jack Childress, Book Asylum. See you guys later. Peace out.
All right.
Bye.